Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian. Samantha will be back with us next Friday for sure. We're getting closer to the holiday season. And, of course, the championship meet, Brian, just around the corner.
Yeah.
I was downloading the past performances for next Friday.
Right.
Of course, we would draw a week out. And it's the 21st of November.
Yeah, getting late.
Getting
And
late.
5 racing days left until the lid lifter on Thanksgiving, championship meet.
Lid lifter.
You like that?
Yeah. I
Not
hear
bad.
Pete use it all the time. You copied him. We got a fast main track. We got Tapeta. We don't have the turf. Turf will be, like Brian said, 5 more racing days. We'll have some turf back here. We got 100,000 guesstimate in the Rainbow Six
There we go.
today. Boy, we had an interesting day yesterday. Brian, almost 1 horse more, Brian, and you had it for like $8.
Yeah, it was well, we
pretty
talked about it.
It was formful.
It was formful. I don't know if that's the case today, so I'm
Yeah.
interested in looking forward to seeing your
Yeah.
ticket.
Much tougher today.
Much tougher today, and that's kind of like a good kind of handicapping lesson or just something to think about. You know, you don't look for something that might not be there.
Yeah.
Seemed very formful yesterday. The right horses won. He had Reese's Rolex. You went back and mentioned him after he won. Oh, what a cool horse now. 7 in a row on the Tapeta. Just dominant
Unbelievable.
style.
You know, you get that free square yesterday. Still meant paying $100 and something.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, let's get to today's card. The first race is going to be 1 mile and 1/16. On the Tapeta, it's a maiden claimer, and these are fillies and mares, and they're 3-year-olds and upward. And we're going to scratch the number 4 Awesome Campaign. And Brian's got an early pick 5 ticket that he would like to show you.
Yeah, we'll take a look. This one was knocked down a little bit with a couple of scratches. Not a lot of scratches on the card. That's good. Race number 2, Evanora on top. That is the 2 for Nolan Ramsey. Race number 3, I've got the 1 on top, Captain Pike. I've been trying to pick this horse for a bit. He's finally going to make the races today. Race 4, Accelerate Me at a short number on top. And then in race 5, we can spread a little bit. I'm on the 6, and that is Vuela Paloma. We mentioned this yesterday. She was in for 8 yesterday.
Right.
Scratched. She's in for 17.5 today. Take note of that.
She is the 2-1 morning line favorite, too, so the jump up is not really affecting as far as what the line maker thinks that horse can do today. There's the line maker.
Well,
Getting
see.
to this first race, Brian, where did you start it with?
Well, I'm just not picking the 3, Ron. So I went with the 1. Muscle Maiden, it's the other. Jose D'Angelo, it's a reach. I get it. Awesome Campaign, scratch. So that's who she lost to last time, but she also lost by 10 lengths to Nick Tomlinson, his first career winner with Insolent. It's a stab, but she'll be a much better price than her stablemate, who is very difficult to trust.
Yeah, no time to wait. Can't wait any longer. Drops to the bottom, returns to the Tapeta. Failed to show much against special weight on dirt and turf. So previous routers on that race on the all-weather surface, whatever that was, three back, beats this horse, beats this field.
Laps this field.
Yeah.
But
like Brian says, maybe this is where you look for a price with Muscle Maiden,
Yeah.
or you use this, the 7-horse Spirit of Jamaica underneath, try and get a little bit of a price. Race 2 this afternoon is going to be 6 furlongs, fast main track, by the way, as I mentioned at the top, and it's a claiming, and this is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, and we have no scratches, big field, 11.
Yeah.
We have 3 pick 4s today, and this is where the first of the 3 pick 4s is going to start in here. And we got, I might get my long shot.
Okay,
here.
go.
Okay, but I want to show the video
Oh,
because
yeah.
my long shot is in the video.
there you go. Your long shot is winning in the video.
Right.
This is Miguel's Bell, who beat Cajun Anthem and who also beat Red Hot Spark.
Yeah.
And it was just solid win. You really can't take anything away from her. The problem for Miguel's Bell and all these gals that are in this race, this 62.50 today is way better than what's on your television screen right now. Though she did do it the right way. And Herbie Miller on the reclaim. Got to like that, right?
That's the old reclaim. That's why I figure we're getting a little. I know we get a little bit
Yeah.
of a shot. What's this one on line? 10-1 on
10.
the morning line. Tough to string together 2 victories. But hey, beating his horses in the past, why not run?
No,
you
she
went
looks
with
good
the number
here.
2 Evanora in there, who I get a little further down on my ticket.
Yeah, so Evanora, and this is Miguel's Bell finishing
Yeah.
this off here. Very game win, and she's got a rating gear, which is positive as well. We'll see. It's going to have to answer the bell today as she, again, doesn't rise in class but meets better. Why does she meet better? Because she's facing a horse like Evanora, who's coming out of 12.5s and is competitive in 12.5s and was a good second. Both sides just won again yesterday in impressive fashion. Again, for Dave Fawkes. So now Nolan Ramsey takes over. He's got 2 nice works in this daughter of Gervin as well, Ronnie, and I like that.
Yeah, she's a major player.
Yeah.
You got Julie's Legacy. He's a winner of 8 races on the dirt, which you have in second. And right there, you got to know that she was avoided claim, but she loves this distance.
You talked about the horse in the first race.
Right.
If Julie's Legacy is 70% of what
Yeah,
she
she
was, they
wins.
can't beat her.
Right.
But boy, it's right in front of you. Voided claim coming back at the bottom today.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's a different way that you look at voided claims,
Yes.
maybe. Third race today, mile and mile 70 yards, on the Tapeta. These are maiden claimers, and they are 3-year-olds and upward. And we have, let's start it off with your top horse, Captain Pike, who you have been trying to catch.
Yeah, he's finally going to get the races now. I was going to play him on turf. He scratched out a couple times. Ramon Minguet, got to give him a shout out here. This is a barn that, normally was pretty low percentage, but has had a real good go of it in 2025, running limited horses. Claimed this horse for $17.5 back in the middle of September. Okay, layoff. Not a layoff. I don't consider it a layoff. The fact that maybe Captain Pike hasn't run since then is a little bit worrisome, but the price should be right in here. There's nobody really to be overly concerned with. And he's got some speed, too, as he showed last time, and he ran pretty well on the Tapeta, I thought.
Yeah, the reason I like the 5 excuses, Nick, this one should have no excuse to be funny here. In a spot where he should be able to flaunt his tactical speed when returning to the Tapeta for Amador Sanchez. He's got a positive return on investment doing that of 235. I thought maybe with the switch to the all-weather with this horse would run well today. And he's the morning line favorite. It figures.
7-5, 3-2, 1-2, 5-2, 5-2, 3-2, all losses. So I agree with Ron that the race goes through him. I think he'll be favored. Tough horse to trust.
You got a stat on the number 3, Ski Bum.
Yeah, this is a good stat, and because you're going to look in your racing form, you say, Falso Gutierrez, he's 1 for 15 off the claim. Why do I want to get involved with that? And I've said this now for a couple months. You got to go back and extrapolate this out. Fausto used to be potent off the claim. He's gotten better horses, so he doesn't necessarily dip in here anymore. This is a guy that's 20% off the claim over the last 5 years.
Yeah, and it doesn't look that way when you look at it because
Exactly.
they narrowed it off for 2 years or something like that.
Exactly.
So always good to look back, and that's the beauty of Formulator that Daily Racing Form lets us take a gander at.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate that very much. So that's Ski Bum. So let's go. Did you do a lot of skiing when you were a kid?
I don't think I've skied other than one time in my life.
Really?
Growing
Up there in upstate New York?
Gore and Killington and
right,
all those places.
right by you.
I think one time in my entire life.
Because that's right by your area.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Some guys are ski bums, and some are not. I skied, and you don't want to see it. Put it that way. It was ugly. Fourth race this afternoon, 1 mile claimer. These are 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. We're going to scratch the 4. Catalina Cree. And, Brian, you have the number 3, Accelerate Me. I think that was one of your singles in there. Let's show that video.
Yeah, I almost feel bad showing this video because this video's a horse losing at 1-5 that both Ron and I picked. So it's like, I don't know. But with that being said, Accelerate Me is just going to be a very short number in here again. To his credit, this was his first start facing winners. That can be difficult. Song So Sweet's going to see it out on the front end. He did kind of get loose in here, and he was game. I'll give him that. Accelerate Me is a brand new horse, A, with Ronald Coy, B, on the dirt. So a run back of this effort probably, and to his credit, he's game in the lane. He was inching closer here. He's just supposed to beat this group, Ron, right? I mean, at the end of the day, he does look just simply better than this group here.
Yeah, and you see on the inside, that's Theo's Thunder. That's going to be in this race this afternoon, just to point that out this afternoon. I want to make a case for the number 8 Guys Trip. I mean, I got your horse on top, too. There, Guys Trip from Muhammad Jaloudi's barn. If you look at that last race, I thought he ran well. He's not coming out of the aforementioned race that we're talking about. I just think this horse, maybe off that performance, is sitting on go today.
He's the only other horse, that, to me at least. And to his credit, he just lost by a nose to the horse that just beat Accelerate Me. Muhammad's done a good job with this horse. Another horse, brand new horse on dirt. So he's the next up to me.
And it's a similar situation. First race after winner's not so good, comes back, boom, wins.
Yep.
Like that, boom, we got
Bobby Bob could be the interesting one getting back on dirt for Sano.
Yep, I got him in there on the bottom two. You got him well closer up than I do here. Race number 5 this afternoon is 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. That's a claimer. These are fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch the one Chill Beam in here. And Chill Beam is in the replay, I think, that we want to show. But you want to talk about, Vuela Paloma first, too. I have a little further down on my ticket.
You know, I have to go back and look at the race yesterday. You could argue the 8 yesterday was better than this 17.5 today.
Yeah.
She's in a good spot.
Yeah.
Here, I think Jose. This is a great claim by Jose D'Angelo. I mean, I'm saying this at 11:32 a.m. The point is, this is a great claim because he's now claiming a horse that's going to go second time off an extended layoff. That was March 7th to October 11th. So that's the perfect time to grab a horse if you like her, because now with that race behind her and now into Jose's barn, to me it's a great post for her. She's got the speed. She showed last time off that long layoff she can run just fine on Tapeta too. So I think this race goes through her even though she's rising in class today.
The number 5 likely perspective is where I went, the Irish bred. Just the drop was that keen last time out, showed that speed. Now, this is a much easier spot for this horse this afternoon. And as you mentioned, we like this angle. Samantha especially never tried the Tapeta before. Well, actually did try and won on it, but not here.
Not here. You just have to hope that she hated the main track because she was beating a football field off a trainer switch. Ken Sweezy does a phenomenal job. He's a very sharp guy. He got nothing out of this horse. Let's hope it was the main track. If it was, and you can draw a line through that race, she's a dangerous commodity here. First time on the Gulfstream Tapeta, because she did win over at Kempton on their all-weather surface.
Straight down the line.
She beat 13 horses, too.
A small field. Small field over there. Chosen Factor, back to Gridlock. The replay will show you right now. You got Chosen Factor on your ticket.
Yeah, so this is where I kind of said this might be a tougher race than the one yesterday, even though these are 17.5s. Here's the thing. Chillbean was 34-1 in this race. She scratched, obviously. But my point is, Chillbean at 34-1 gets necked out for the win. That doesn't, to me, Ron, flatter back to Gridlock or Chosen Factor. Now, Chosen Factor's off the Coy claim. So I think that's a big deal. Back to Gridlock did run well off the claim for Bo Chapman, but I don't really feel like Vuela Paloma or even Likely Perspective are going to see them in the starting gate and get too hot and bothered about that.
Which is good to show that. But
and here's 5 horses on the line, too, essentially.
And as Brian mentioned, Chillbean scratched out of there. We're going to take a short break. When we will come back, we will have my Rainbow Six ticket, so we'll be right back.
And they're off. In the Pegasus World Cup, it's all about Nick's go. City of Light keeps going. Arrogate, what a horse! They ran him off their feet in the Pegasus.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian. 6th race this afternoon. The Rainbow Six is going to start. It's a 5.5 furlong sprint on the Tapeta. These are maidens, and they are 2-year-olds, 5.5 furlongs. As I mentioned, scratch the 2 Self-Lotus, scratch the 7 Deputy Lad. Please note the number 1 Pike and the number 8 are now listed as geldings, and that they will be listed as geldings for the rest of their campaign. That is not changing. So it's not, I always like I said, first time gelding. That's it. There's no second time gelding. Here's my Rainbow Six ticket this afternoon, 43.20 for me. We'll talk about the sixth race. Seventh race, this to me, Brian, was a head scratcher. I ended up with the 8 on top, Battle of Dover. But there's so many ways you can go. Light Fury, of course, coming back. Race number 8. Here's my single today, Ramage. I like this. What a race at Keeneland. We're going to show you that race. And race number 9 this afternoon, my top pick is this 2-horse Tessellate for Saffie Joseph Jr. I got some interest in Epigram, too, in that race. I think that horse might run well. Just 2 for me in race 10. Here's where I'm a little light. I have the 4, It's a Boss. We talked a lot about this horse yesterday. And how could you not have Mr. Narcissistic reeling back in 8 days? Uncharacteristic Saffie move.
Really is. That's a great point, Ron.
And the 11th race, we had a couple of scratches of the 5, 6, and 8. So I did go 1, 2, 4. 4 is my top pick. Show off. We'll show you a video of that horse. 43.20 for me. And I think the only... I think I can nail this thing. The only race I'm light is the 10th.
It's way more difficult than yesterday. That is for sure. I think you've got the right single, and then, you got to kind of get maybe creative in some other spots.
Well, getting to this sixth race this afternoon, Brian, you started up with, I went with the 5 Shipmate. What did you have?
I went with, this is a stab.
Yeah.
Talk about a race to start the rainbow.
Right.
I took a stab with Unreachable Star for Guadalupe Preciado. The barn has come down here and boom, is winning races, which is significant because had a real rough go of it last winter. Already 2 wins. This is a homebred for Joe Mbisi, who has some pedigree. The Dam was 6 of 27. Took her 3 starts to break her maiden. This is a full sister to Flora de Sambre, who won her debut, earned almost $400,000, won 3 dirt stakes. She was a PA bred, but she could run. And I'm hoping maybe this horse can run, too. A couple decent works sticking out here. Plenty of them to say she's ready to roll on debut.
Yeah, it's social inclusion. That's Joe's sire. Yeah, that's his stallion, I should say, in there. Got him on my ticket. I did go with the number 5 in here. Shipmate just off its debut. Yeah, it was at Keeneland. Was 61-1 that day. But look at the couple of works here getting ready for this. I think going to be an easier spot on the Tapeta.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Nolan Ramsey, he'll have a good championship meet. One with a first-time starter yesterday that he had never done before. So he's getting stock. He's getting kind of his legs under him as a young trainer, and I think this horse, you get beat 2 lengths in a turf race at Keeneland on your debut. I don't care what your odds are, you ran pretty darn good.
What do you get with the 3 in here with Jack Sisterson? I don't know, coming out of the race. Yeah, it's sort of a guess there with that horse. So maybe if you got a couple of singles down the road, you go deeper in this opening leg of the Rainbow Six. So it's like I said, the 1 and the 8 are both now listed as together. Anything else?
Just a quick mention. Nickel C is the 4. Worked out of his mind on Tapeta on November 1st. He worked in company with Dave's other horse later, Send Cash, in race 10. The works match up identical. Dave Fox going better than anybody. Take note, this horse could be live in here on the Tapeta. Did not run 1 single inch on debut, and then remember it for race 10, too.
Yeah, getting the apprentice in there, too. So race number 7 this afternoon. We're going to stretch it out for 7, and this is a mile in the 16th. These are claimers, 3-year-olds, and upward. We're going to scratch the number 11, Maynard, and Brian's got a late pick 5 ticket that he's going to jump right into here.
Ronnie mentioned something when he was talking about his rainbow, and I kind of feel like maybe he's right. Maybe this is the day Light Fury's vulnerable. We'll get to this race in a second. Race number 8, I've got the 8 on top, and that is Ramage. As Ronnie said, I think he said that was his single best bet, did you say, or single?
Yeah, best bet and single.
Okay, I like it. I'm on La Dolce Vita in the Phillies sprint, but certainly Tessellate and obviously Epigram as well are big hitters in there. Race 10, I've got the 4, It's a Boss. Gabaldon, to his credit, did run well yesterday. Flattered It's a Boss a little bit. And my best bet is in the finale. Show-off's just simply better than these horses. Hopefully that matters.
You could absolutely single. That's what I was saying. Like in a race number 6 where you start the rainbow. Of course, this starts race number 7. If you want to go deep there, I would suggest that because, there's nothing you go, that's the one, sort of like you can do with the 4 horse in the last race. Getting back to this 7th race here. I went with the number 8, as I said. I was a little confused here with Battle of Dover in here. And Battle of Dover moves to a better outside stalking position. I thought finished a game second to the logical choice in here, Light Fury. So we could show that race, and you'll see why I went with this horse over Light Fury.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a good price today, Ron, because he's been 30 and he was 27 to 1 in this race. So people are not expecting anything, and sometimes they don't tend to come back to those horses. But Mark Pasley's done a good job with this horse, and he runs well. The problem is, this is Light Fury. This is the carbon copy of what Light Fury does. He just breaks everybody's back. He breaks their heart here because he's flying, and you're saying to yourself, well, he's going to pay the price. When you go 47-3 on the Tapeta, man, that is quick. And he just keeps going. He just keeps on grinding them all into the ground and into submission. Battle of Dover ran well. He's coming down the worst part of the track. You don't want to get stuck down there trying to come through on the inside. It's just not going to work on Tapeta. They always go better on the outside. But he did run well. And here's the thing with Light Fury, and Frank Regalbuto has done a really good job this year. He's had a solid year. He's off the claim now. We'll see if Frank can get the same kind of engine that Light Fury's had for other trainers. 9 for 17 on the Tapeta. The race always goes through him, and they always have to run him down. They never can do it.
Yeah, the thing was that I thought, the way I looked at it, Brian, maybe that race was hard for him. You mentioned the splits. Maybe he comes back now. Do I have him on the ticket? Absolutely. I have the 8 maybe turning the tables on him today. It's simple that. That's why I flip-flopped those two. Light Fury for all the reasons you mentioned. But you did go with the number 4 horse in here, which I find very interesting, and that is Ringside.
This is my long shot, and to be fair, he finished behind Light Fury in Clear Destination and Sunshine Frolic. They're all in here today. I get it. Okay. So that was also his first start on Tapeta. He didn't run poorly. He was beaten 4 1/4 lengths. Jose Castro, putting the blinkers on as well. And we get Jonathan Ocasio today. And this is no disrespect to Louis Fuenmayer, who's done some solid work around here. Jonathan Ocasio's pretty good. This is and now I think with the blinkers, it's behind him, the Tapeta race. I think he's got a shot, and he's not coming out of that race we just showed you.
And the blinkers are going back. That last race was the only time this horse ran in ages without blinkers on, at least 4, 5, 6 starts. So they tried something completely new with that horse last time out, and he didn't. As Brian said, he didn't run badly
not
in
at
that
all.
place. So, Light Fury, of course, a logical contender. If you feel you can single there or maybe go too deep or you feel that strongly at it, maybe that's what you do.
Yep.
We are going to go to the next race and flip the page to race number 8. It's 7 furlongs, and it's a maiden race, and these are 2-year-olds. We're going to scratch the 4, Richie W. Dream and Jackpot Cree. And here we go, Brian. This one, to me, Ramajay is my best bet. Let's show the video.
Yeah, I mean, this horse was we're going to pick it up late here. This horse was in and amongst the contenders the entire way around, and he's pressing the pace. He makes a middle move. This is a private purchase. Our friend Jerry O'Dwyer had this horse on debut. This is a restricted race at Keeneland, and that means, for horses that didn't RNA or they stood for less than the 45,000. So it's not as good as a maiden special weight. That is a statement of fact. But here's a private purchase that goes to Safi. He's going to be a first-time gelding as well. You can see how hard he runs through the lane. Edgard Zayas is on too, and Statboy found a pretty good one.
Yeah, first off, the trainer switch, dirt sprints, really good. 29% Safi is always good. And that was from Post 12.
Yep.
I really respect that. And they knew what they got. And you know what? They bought this horse privately, as you mentioned, and they're willing to geld it.
Yep.
So that tells me that they want to win. You know what I mean? They're not saving his horse for anything else down the road, breeding-wise or anything like that. I love his chances this afternoon, and Brian's got him on top. But you put the 2 in second, and let's blame Yasif.
Yeah, I couldn't see any of these works, unfortunately, but the one on the 18th was a real good one. 47 flat, 4th of 86 that day at the distance. Victor Barboza, not necessarily a guy you'd think is going to win first out. No pedigree here. The dam couldn't run. She was 0 for 3. It's her third fall. Only one ran. Couldn't run at all. Didn't win, obviously, on debut. But I like that work, and I'm just maybe tote board kind of race.
Yeah. I like to turn back on Candy Addiction. I think, the
Yeah.
number 7 horse. This horse
Yep.
runs in the slop, albeit back in August, runs a good second, first time behind Strategic Reserve, then comes back, tries a mile off the layoff, shows some early interest, and, backs up there. Put blinkers on. So blinkers on, turn back in distance. I think maybe that horse, like you say, can grab a I think it's all about the one, Ravage.
Yeah. I'm going to show you a workout of the one, the pulse. We don't need to play the pulse.
Right.
Now, tomorrow, the workmate is going to be in tomorrow,
Right.
and I think this is a real runner. So,
Right.
guys, do we have the pulse? The morning. Here we go.
There you
Okay, so Taliqua is on the inside, me, and will run tomorrow as a first-time starter for Safi. The pulse is on the outside, and you're going to watch this work, Ron, and it's even obvious to someone like me who's not necessarily a workout guru like a Samantha or Mike Welsh. There's only one horse you need out of this workout, and it's Taliqua, because the pulse is getting dragged around, breaking from the rail today. He's a curling as well, and we're going to show you that again tomorrow when Taliqua is in, and Taliqua is a filly too.
So you're giving them some homework. You got to mark that
you
down.
You better remember to watch us.
You got to remember to watch us tomorrow. Brian will be updating that Taliqua thing. Feature race number 9. It is 6.5 furlongs on the fast main track. The Juvenile Filly Sprint. These are for 2-year-olds. $75,000 is the purse, and is the purse, yeah. And the number 5, Mystic Bell, is the scratch in here.
I'm just thinking who's better than Dennis. But, no one is the answer to that. Mystic Bell, we'll see her tomorrow.
Yeah.
Too, speaking of which. So.
We knew during the week it's happening. There's an allowance for 2-year-olds.
Yep. On the Tapeta,
on the Tapeta, so going to run now. You, I know, have a big feeling full of Dolce Vita's speed.
I think she's just too fast for these. We'll see. Here's the replay of her breaking her maiden. First start on the main track after running on the turf both here and at Kentucky Downs. Now, she just blitzed the field early and she held on, but I feel like her speed, especially with Mystical Bell coming out, I just think she's got enough to get to the front here. Nobody in here is running 45-1 and sticking around. I mean, look at the second quarter she throws in here, and that's what kind of blew this race wide open. Yeah, okay, she lost ground late. I understand that, but to me, Ron, it's what she did in the middle of the race that I think is going to be key here. Your pick, your pick's got certainly got the experience edge in that she's run quite well in 2 stakes races. But I like the speed and the upside of La Dolce Vita, who's well within herself here. I know they're gaining on her, but that was long decided.
Well, Tesselate's going to go back to sprinting. Tried that 1-turn mile last time out. What you remember Willow Case? Willow Case was the ooh-ah horse there for a couple of starts. In those 2 races, they just thought this horse was going to be something else. Comes out of sort of slow races and everything like that. I just think the experience. I love the fact that Edgar Zayas is here, and of course, both trained by Safi. What do we get today? What about Epigram? This is the horse that I kept going back. Is this a work or is this?
No, this is
the
race.
That race that won by 10 lengths.
Yeah.
Right? Something. Yeah.
Here's the thing: you got to give the old full disclosure. Safi had Canton at 2-5.
Right.
In completely thereof you lose.
Right.
So this race was essentially handed to Epigram, 22-4, 46-3. You really can't go much slower than that.
Right.
And she's loose on the lead. Canton has not run since. I don't know if Canton's any good or not. This is a huge effort. I don't want to take anything away from her, but there was a race within the race that was happening that you have to be cognizant of, because that's not going to happen today. Okay?
Yeah.
The other horses to beat are not going to lose the race at the start and run terribly. She'll have to earn it. With that being said, look at her just streaking in the lane. Good effort.
That looked like easy money to me.
Might have been.
Don't say
Can't
that.
have 7-2 easy money, though.
No. Race 10. You ready for race 10? It's a 5.5 furlong sprint on the Tapeta allowance optional claimer. Nice big full field once again going for the first half of the late double. And Brian, we talked a lot about It's a Boss yesterday, and let's do a little bit more right now.
Yeah. It's a Boss got flattered yesterday because Gabaldon did run pretty well. You just can't run with Reese's Rollers.
Nobody can.
Who the heck can? Exactly. It's a Boss. was off a long layoff last time, November 8th, October 24th, and he went out and he beat Gabaldon on the square.
Right.
He had the worst of it while Gabaldon was loose, and he ran really good. He's run well on Tapeta. He added Lasix last time. He did not have Lasix on the Tapeta, excuse me, back at the end of August of last year. I think he's in a good spot today, Ron.
Well, Mr. Narcissistic, we'll show you this video, and interesting, ran just 8 days ago.
Ran 8 days ago, and you know, I could be wrong here with him at 3-1,
right?
Because he's 70 cents, 70 cents, 90 cents. This is a way tougher spot. I mean, 3-0's 12-1 in this race today if he was in here.
Right.
And this is, Ronnie said perfectly. Ronnie said two things that I love. 8 days ago is one, but B, Safi never does this.
No.
And Ron, this was not that impressive to me. He is wandering. He is all out. He's got nothing left to give, and he's behind three other horses, 3 jumps after the wire. That's not going to cut it today, I don't think, and that's why I didn't even put him in second.
Yeah, I put him up there, and I actually wrote my analysis after I wrote it, but I put, as the move, as you can see, what's going on. Maitre D, maybe this one gets it today. The other Jose D'Angelo, a couple of okay performances on the Tapeta 2 back, puts this one right in the hunt with these.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him. I think he probably paid the price for the big effort, 2 starts back off the long layoff. The horse I want to mention, though, as I talked about earlier, is Send Cash, who that workout on the Tapeta, that wild work on November 1st, matches up with Dave Fox's other horse
that's right.
in race 6. Pay attention to how he runs. Never tried the Tapeta, Send Cash. Now, to be fair, they do work wildly fast in the morning on the Tapeta. So Dave Fox, my goodness, is he going good?
Yeah, he's going good. Let's go to our last race here, and this is race number 11, the mile 70 odds on the Tapeta. Starter optional claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. For some reason, we had 3 scratches in here of the 5, Miss Mia Morte and the number 6, Sal's Dream Girl and Worldly Beauty. Certainly makes your best bet, your single, look much better today.
Yeah.
That's Show Off. Let's show it.
Yeah, well, maybe the 3 trainers looked and said, I don't want to run against Show Off because I can't come close to beating Show Off. This is the Ginger Punch when she was 3rd behind Leo Toro, who looks like a great claim by Safi, and then Starship Impulsive, who had won 4 straight turf races and is darn good on the Tapeta as well. This is a really good effort by Show Off, and back to Fausto Gutierrez off the claim. He grabbed this horse, got 2 wins out of her, and then she was 3rd in a stakes on Tapeta and 4th in a really solid, salty optional claimer on the turf here last time behind Charlie's Wish and essentially a Shima, who's up at Churchill today and I think is going to win up there today. I promise you, no one in this field today would have been able to do that.
Show Off was also entered to run today at Churchill Downs, and they decided to run here. I don't know how much you read into that. Then you got to go Shala, who's getting some class relief, 3-race win streak versus this caliber. Ended when she returned to lift, and she was 5th in the Ginger Punch. So maybe she's the one that can do a little something in here.
Yep, she wasn't that far behind Show Off in there. Didn't really do any running that day, but she's 2 for 4 on Tapeta, and she still has some upside too.
I just want to mention I love Venezuela. This horse was on a tear. Last time, tries to turf. Who does it run into? Zozu Chera. Very tough horse. It went 2 or 3 in a row. So I think I love Venezuela. Maybe over its head a little bit today, but certainly could be in the mix somewhere. I wish there wasn't as many scratches because I'd have loved to have this horse on the try.
Magnetic Beach off the claim for Roddy Valente. Big Tapeta win 2 starts back, I think.
And they, of course, they like that horse today always. So we sort of knew that going in that they would love their horse this afternoon. We got the lightning round to do, of course, and then we did a lot of stuff already talking about the early races, but right now we'll take a look at that lightning round. We got tickets galore, don't we?
No, just a thin lightning round because we had a lot to get through, but tickets is Pegasus. So, you better get your tickets because they will sell out the 10th edition of the Pegasus World Cup, Ronnie, and it never disappoints, right?
Win and you're in.
Win and you're in. That's right. We talked about that yesterday. So if you're not familiar with that, the win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic. So that's the first time. So that means the winner of the Pegasus World Cup will get all fees and paid and travel and all that good stuff to the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is At Keeneland next year.
I think so. I think
Keeneland
it is a
next
Keeneland.
year.
And that's a pretty big $3 million race just to add to that. So that's going to be great. That's going to really
cool.
perk that up.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
And you mentioned this, that we're going to try something on Sunday that we usually do on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I know you and I will be there. You probably have to knock us out of the way.
Yeah, out of the Panini and Linguini line. Taste at the Track is tomorrow, okay? It's normally once a month on Saturdays, and it's awesome. It's tomorrow. So you got one last chance to get tickets because it will sell out, and it's capped. And that's upstairs, and that's a lot of fun, some great food, and you get yourself a cocktail or two or three. Or,
But they got the wine up to it. They match it with up, and it's
Yep.
unlimited dining experiences. Unlimited. That's the part I like. And there, best bet today for you.
Show off right all the way to the end. The scratches are not going to help that 8 to 5. That is
Mine's
for sure.
that horse we talked about in race number 8, Ramage. I think that horse is really going to be something special now that it's gelded.
Yeah.
My long shot, your long shot is
It's trying to beat Light Fury in the Tapeta race. That's with Ringside, and that's in a rainbow race. So
I'm early on. Never
Okay.
really early. Race number 2 this afternoon with Miguel's Bell at
on the
10
dirt
to-
too.
Huh?
That's not usually your jam.
No.
On the dirt as well.
Yeah, on the dirt, whatever. I'm waiting for the turf to come back.
Oh,
so,
yeah, we all are.
good luck with all your selections. We're going to turn it over to Liam Molinaro, and he's going to give you the changes we have this afternoon, and it should be a fantastic day. By the weather is perfect.